This isn't any ordinary sapling. This is a special rainforest tree sapling which, along with the 800 others planted this rainy June morning, will grow into a complete and thriving tropical forest. Not long ago, large parts of the Earth's tropics were clothed in lush, impenetrable rainforests. But over the last century, growing human needs have taken much from these jungles and left behind only small patches where life continues to cling on. The Annamalai Hills of southern India have a similar story to tell. Tea and coffee plantations have taken over what used to be a rolling plateau of verdant tropical jungles and perennial streams. Isolated between these monoculture plantations are rainforest fragments, which still offer refuge to a variety of endangered plants and animals. But even within the fragments of the Valparai Plateau, life is tough for both plants and animals. The perpetual demands of human survival threaten the last of Valparai's rainforests, and this is what makes the saplings being planted today so special. Grown from carefully collected seeds and seedlings, these saplings are part of a unique effort to bring back the rainforests of Valparai.
Traditional protection efforts have tended to focus on wildlife sanctuaries and national parks, but considerable amounts of wildlife exist outside these areas on private lands and in degraded forests. It's important to take conservation efforts to these areas also. And here, just protection may not work. Many of these degraded sites have problems such as weed invasion, which prevents the recovery of forest, or the recovery of forest may take much longer unless we intervene in some way. Some species which once occurred in these patches may have also gone extinct, and they may have to be raised in a nursery and planted if they are ever to re-establish. So that's where the role for restoration comes in.
Since the year 2000, a small team of scientists from Nature Conservation Foundation has worked at restoring and reviving the surviving rainforests of the Annamalai Hills. Much of the land here is owned by large plantation companies, and many of the fragments the team is attempting to restore are on company land. Support from this community of planters is invaluable for the restoration effort. 3 companies, Hindustan Lever, Pari Agro, and Bombay Burma Trading Corporation, have joined hands with the scientists and are already part of the restoration efforts. In fact, even the rainforest species nursery, which is at the heart of the endeavour, is located in an abandoned tea nursery donated by Hindustan Lever. More than 90 species of rainforest trees, lianas and shrubs thrive in this unique nursery until they are ready to go back to the wild. Restoration is a long-term effort. Recreating a rainforest is the task of a lifetime, and results of daily efforts are rarely visible. This is what makes each seedling that pushes itself out of the soil in the nursery beds so valuable. The seeds and saplings in this nursery aren't collected from the wild, where the odds for their survival are fairly high. Instead, the plants in this ecological orphanage come from seeds collected along roadsides and trails. The team is trained and now heavily depends on its local field staff, who do much of the collection of seeds and saplings. Another source of seedlings for the nursery are the tea plantations themselves. Often, rainforest plants are found growing amidst tea gardens, where they would otherwise be mistaken for weeds and removed. Back at the nursery, each seed is carefully planted and nurtured. But the wait for a full and verdant greenhouse can be long. It takes most rainforest saplings at least 2 years to grow tall and healthy enough to leave the care and protection of the nursery and survive the perils of the open jungle. During the monsoons each year, carefully chosen saplings are tagged and marked for the different forest patches where restoration activity is underway. Once put into the fragments, these tags will help differentiate naturally growing saplings from planted ones. Rainforest species are more sensitive to light and need more water than their deciduous or temperate cousins. The extended monsoons in the southern Western Ghats provide the perfect conditions for planting. A well-researched mix of rainforest tree species is selected for each of the restoration sites, factoring altitude, slope, and other prevailing natural conditions. Packed, tagged, and ready to go back to their natural homes, the saplings are checked one last time. Day breaks and the hard work begins at the Ayarpadi restoration plot belonging to Pariagro. Pits are dug and saplings put in. Local labourers provided by the company also participate in the planting efforts. It isn't only in the degraded fragments that the rainforest saplings from the nursery are planted. In an attempt to recreate a native tree species canopy, the Bombay-Burma Trading Corporation planted more than 2,000 rainforest saplings in its vanilla and coffee estates. The saplings will grow to eventually replace the existing exotic shade trees for a healthier ecological future of these plantations. Each year, many local people, including school children and their teachers from the Valparai town and other settlements nearby, brave the leeches and the rainy weather to do their bit for the rainforests of the Anomalais.
All creatures great and small, all things nice and wonderful, the good God made them all.
As the children's prayer for the new saplings echoes in the valley, and fresh life begins to dot the slope, it is not difficult to imagine a luxuriant jungle here, just 20 years down.
This is not just a tree planting program. What we are trying to restore is the ecological processes that have been disturbed, for which I think our research here, past research, has given us a better understanding to figure out what kind of species we can put back that will bring back the biodiversity, different groups of animals that could come back to these forest fragments, which are already refuges for some of the endangered species, but we want the entire process to come back.
While it is important to restore, it is as important to examine the success of these attempts. Monitoring the survival and growth of saplings planted in previous seasons provides key insights for the future of the restoration effort. The first forest patches where this far-sighted endeavour began are heartening to behold. Saplings over 7 feet tall darken the ground below, just as towering trees do within intact tropical jungles. With the trees come the animals and birds that live amidst them. The scientists track these changes within the restored fragments carefully to use them as a measure of the project's success. And already, birdsong is beginning to fill these forests of the future. As the light fades on a day of hectic activity and the whistling thrush sings in the twilight, it seems that restoring and protecting the forests is the only way to keep the bird's song alive in these mountains.